and serve the needs of the society. So what is the main goal of formulation of this kind of a group? Means to serve the needs of the society, the requirements of the society. When it comes in terms of family systems in our country, okay, so there are two kinds of or two category of family system that is being followed. Economic organization, okay, economic organization. The organization which motto is the economic generation, that we call it as economic organization. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Mr. Hemant Kumar from the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Aid College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. In today's session, we are going with the subject called Business Environment, that is session 1 of Unit 4, okay, for 3rd semester BBA students. In today's session, we are going with the new unit. The title is Social and Cultural Environment. As I said in the previous session, this social and cultural environment is a external environment factor which influences a business environment. Okay, so it is a macro factor. Moving forward, this is agenda of today's session. We are going with the topic called business and society. So here what happens is we get to know how exactly the society is going to affect the business, means how exactly the business get affected by the external environment. Social values and attitudes. So that is what the topic that we are going with is social and cultural environment. Okay, so how exactly the social system or the societal system is affecting the business, the culture, demographic factors, workforce, diversity, family system and linguistics. So these are the factors which is impact in the business environment. Types of social organizations. Okay, so which are all the social organization that is available in a society? Impact of literacy and education. How exactly this literacy and education is affecting the business environment. Done. Okay, so business and society. Business and society. See, these are two terms which is going to say two different things. So when it comes in terms of a society, so it's of external environment. When it comes in terms of a business, okay, so it is a legal entity which consists of a internal environment. Two environment together, how exactly this social environment or the societal environment is affecting the business environment. Done? Okay. So business operate within a society and are deeply influenced by its values, attitudes and social structure. See, one thing I want to say in this business and society, see, whether it is an internal and external environment, okay, so retake. Just I want to say one thing. Whether it is an internal environment or external environment, both the environment are interlinked with each other, interdependent on each other. Okay, so internal environment is no use without external environment. External environment is no use without internal environment. I will just give you the example. Okay, so here there is a manufacturing unit, I say. Okay, so this is a business entity. The surrounding the business entity or outside the business entity, that we can call it as a external environment. See, what exactly the business entity is going to do is, so it is going to convert the raw materials into finished product. It is a function of a business entity. So what happens where the raw materials for the business entity it is available? Okay, so for the manufacturer, where do the raw materials that is available? From the external environment, right? So from the external environment, they get the raw materials. They are going to convert the raw materials into finished product. Okay, so again after conversion of raw materials into finished product, they are going to transform to the same external environment. Okay, so hence I mean to say, so this external environment is nothing but the social environment or the society. This external environment is also known as social environment or the society. Hence, I mean to say this business environment and this social environment are interlinked with each other, interdependent with each other. Yes. Okay. So again, coming to the thing, elements such as culture. Okay. See what happens. So these all things variate from one geographical location to another geographical location, whether it is a culture, whether it is a demographic, whether it is a workforce diversity, family system, whether it is a language or any other thing. Okay, so it plays a vital role when it comes in terms of business environment. Okay, it used to shape the consumer preference, work culture, the business strategies. Okay, so these are all the things that is get affected. Okay, for example, the people from different geographical location speak different kind of languages. They are from the different traditions. Okay, so what happens is their attitude is different, behavior is different, their purchasing power and purchasing behavior is different, right? So totally the business get affected by these all attitudes. Understanding these factors helps the business remain socially accepted. Okay, see what happens is we are supposed to understand the consumer. Okay, so that is the thing what we say, we are supposed to firstly understand the consumer behavior, how exactly the consumer is going to behave in the society. Competitive and sustainable, this is the way how the business gets survive in the challenging society or the competitive society. There are many factors which influence the business environment. Okay, so what happens is if a business should be conducted effectively and efficiently, okay, see what happens, there must be a proper operations which should happen inside the business. Okay, so to run the business fluently, effectively, efficiently, okay, so the business must adopt for the culture or adapt the culture. What happens, we must get adjusted for that particular culture, or we are supposed to adopt that particular culture into the business. Only then we can survive in a business. Okay, see what happens. Okay, so there are two factors we must consider: adapt and adopt. Adapt, okay, so we are going to get adjusted for the environment. Adopt, we are going to adopt that environment in our organization. So that we call it as a two kinds of things that we must consider when it comes in terms of a business environment. Okay, so there are many factors which influence the business environment. Okay, so the business also depends upon the culture of a particular geographical location. Say for example, if any business is being conducted in India, okay, so it must adopt the culture of India. Say for example, McDonald's, KFC, it have its franchisee in all the foreign countries, including in India. Okay, so while in foreign countries, this same KFC and McDonald's, it is going to sell the meat of beef and pork, but not in India. There are number of people who don't go with the pork. There are number of people who won't go with the beef in our country. So they had adopted a system of selling only chicken dishes in the KFC and McDonald's. So this is the thing how they had adopted for the culture, because they had adjusted for the culture and they follow the same kind of the culture in our country. So that is the reason why the business operation is going to happen in our country successfully, whether it is a McDonald's, whether it is a KFC. So what if a KFC or McDonald's, okay, sell any kind of beef, any kind of pork in its outlet, so they cannot expect a good result in their business. So KFC and McDonald's can run its business fluently in our country. After culture, demographic factor is the second most factor which influence the business environment. How exactly this demography is going to affect? See what happens is, before conduction of any kind of the business, we must know about the consumer behavior. Who exactly is my consumer? Okay, so whether they are youths, whether it is a male, whether it is a female, whether they are the aged people, whether they are children. So no, so we must get to know. So that a systematic study of population, we call it as a demography. Okay, so this demography is one of the factor which influence the business to make decisions. Okay, what happens? Okay, so already we know that, okay, in India, okay, so there is a large youth population. Based on that large youth population, how can I conduct the business? Already we people know that, okay, all the youths are regularly use smartphones. They have a kind of a craze towards smartphones. So if I manufacture smartphone and sell in India, so that I can have a good business, because due to the high youth population. Okay, so that is a demography. So we might get to know about demography and work towards the accomplishment of the desired objective or the goal of our business. Workforce diversity. See what happens is, in India, all the MNC have the workforce diversity, because there are a number of people who come from number of cultures, number of background, number of traditions. So now, see, one people culture is not equivalent to the culture of another people. Here, there is a combination of number of culture. Say what happens? So we must know the culture of the particular geographical location, we must try to adopt, whether it come in terms of behavior, whether it come in terms of food habits, whether it come in terms of dressing habits. So we must get adopt for that particular culture. So workforce diversity. So there is a diversity in a workforce. So it is a factor which is going to impact the business environment, because it is a risky work to make understand for all the culture people. Family systems. Okay, so these are the factors which influence the business environment. Okay, so when it comes in terms of family systems in our country, okay, so there are two kinds of, or two category of family system that is being followed. First one is nuclear family, second one is joint family. When it comes in terms of a nuclear family, okay, so there may be a family members of 4 or 6 members. When it comes in terms of joint family, it is 20 plus of members. Say what happens when it comes in terms of a nuclear family, if they want to purchase any product, okay, so they can go through online. Okay, for example, if they want to purchase any grocery, they want to purchase any ration items for their home purpose, okay, so they are going with the online application, whether it is Amazon or Flipkart and whatever it is. Okay, if they want food also, they can order through Zomato, because only affording 4 members or 5 members, it is not too expensive. Okay, so they can order at any point of time. But when it comes in terms of a joint family, which consists of a population of 20 or 25 members, say what happens, they cannot go with Zomato. Okay, so they are supposed to fetch their own food. Okay, so they cannot afford for 20 or 30 members in their family in any kind of the situation. Okay, so and in the same way, if they are going with any kind of a groceries, okay, so they are going with the offline store rather than going with the online store. See, what they believe is, they believe that if we go with the offline store, okay, so it will be very cheaper when compared to the online shopping. So these people go with the offline store. Which one? The joint family. The nuclear family go with the online. Okay, so here in the family system also depends upon the business. Okay, see how, okay, for example, if a nuclear family is more in a city, online business is going to happen. Okay, it is profitable for the people. Okay, so if joint family is more in a city, okay, so they can expect the offline sales. So conduction of the business also depends upon these factors. Okay, say for example, in developing country like India, there are a number of nuclear family. So there is a huge scope for the virtual organizations. The last one is linguistics. Okay, so this is a factor which plays a vital role when it comes in terms of a business entity and a social organization. Say what happens when it comes in terms of our linguistics. Okay, so we people have a, when it comes in terms of linguistics, okay, our India is a land of tradition where different kinds of culture is been followed in different geographical location of our country. Say what happens, okay, so while advertising a product, while marketing a product, okay, so while selling the product, they are supposed to adopt for the particular geographical location, the locality. They are supposed to use their local languages to sell the product, to market the product, to advertise the product. Say for example, okay, so in Karnataka, if they want to market or advertise the product, usually they are going with the Kannada. Okay, that is a regional language. Okay, in Tamil Nadu, they are going to market the same kind of the product in Tamil. For example, in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. So no, so it varies from one geographical location to another geographical location. For example, in North India, okay, so the language is different. So based on that particular culture, they are going with the advertising. Okay, so the language get changes, the behavior get changes. Okay, so the dressing habit get changes, purchasing habit get changes. So hence I mean to say this linguistic is a thing which must get adapted by the business. Okay, so from one culture to another culture. Say for example, we all familiar with the advertisement of a Dairy Milk chocolate. We are familiar with the advertisement of a Dove soap. Say what happens, okay, so we can see the advertisement, okay, of a Dove soap in Kannada, Hindi, Tamil, Urdu, Telugu, English also. Okay, so there are number of people, okay, who keep watching only one particular language. Okay, so that is their mother tongue. Okay, so it is beneficial for that kind of people and all the local people who are going to purchase a product. Hence I mean to say this linguistic plays a vital role. Social organizations, the name itself, it is going to say that, okay, so it is a societal organization. What exactly the social organization is? Social organization are the structured groups of people formed to achieve the common goals. Okay, so it is a structured, okay, so it may be formal, it may be informal. There is no formality. Okay, there may be a formality or there may be no formality in nature, and serve the needs of the society. So what is the main goal of formulation of this kind of a group? Means to serve the needs of the society, the requirements of the society. They provide a platform to industries, they provide a platform for the individuals to work collectively. Okay, so it is a right platform for the individual people to work collaboratively. Okay, so following certain rules and roles. Okay, say what happens? Okay, they have certain rules, restrictions, regulations which must strictly followed by that particular group of people that we are going to study further. This organization may focus on welfare, cultural, educational, religious or professional objectives. The objective will be different. It totally depends upon the organization which we are going to consider. Done. So these are the types of organization that is available in a society. We can notice all these kinds of organization that is available in the social environment, that is external environment of a business entity. Primary organization. Okay, so primary organization is also known as a informal organization. The things which is going to happen informally, that we call it as a informal organization. Say for example, a group of friends, it is an informal organization. Okay, a family members, it is a group of people. Okay, so it is an informal organization. The people do not have a formal structure, that we call it as an informal organization. These are the examples for the informal organization or the primary organization. Because so what happens, as a child or a children take birth, okay, so they keep looking at their family members and they are going to adopt certain things from their family members. They are going to learn certain things from their neighbors. They are going to learn their certain things from their brothers, sisters, friends, yes or no? So this tiny group of people, okay, that we call it as a organization, that is a primary organization. Because as soon as a child took birth, okay, so he is going to look at one group of people and learn and adopt certain things. So we call it as a primarily. Okay, primarily they are going to learn this kind of things, and after that, okay, so after when they grow up, okay, they are going with the secondary organization. Hence I mean to say this primary organization is an informal group of people. Okay, so they are organized together for any kind of the thing. Next one is a secondary organization. Is also known as a formal organization. Okay, formal organization. Okay, so any kind of a thing which is going to happen formally, we call it as a formal organization, whether it is IT, BT, workforce. Okay, so it may be when children is a student. Okay, so it is also formally each and everything is going to happen. Okay, so starting from the moment the student step into college or a school, okay, the moment he go back to his home, everything is going to happen in a formal or organized way, that we call it as a secondary organization or a formal organization. Okay, so followed by voluntary organization. Okay, see, voluntary organization, the name itself, it is going to say we are voluntary enough, okay, so to participate in that particular organization, whether it is a formal or informal in nature, but we people are going to participate into it. Okay, for example, NSS, okay, so it is a voluntary organization. Red Cross, it is a voluntary organization. Okay, so there are a number of charitable institutions, NGOs, NPOs, orphanage, old age home. These are the voluntary organizations where we are going to contribute for the welfare of the society. Voluntary organization. Political organization. Hope you people are aware of the political organization. There are a number of political party. Okay, so there are a number of political party which is well organized in nature in the our country. Then religious organizations. Okay, so we do aware of the religious organization. Okay, so all the people are going to follow their religion. Okay, so whether they visit mosque, whether they visit a church, whether they visit temple, okay, so whether they go with a gurudwar, okay, so they follow their own religious this thing. Economic organization. Okay, economic organization. the organization which motto is the economic generation, that we call it as economic organization. All the kinds of the business entity is the example for economic organization. All the things are well organized, that is in a economic organization. So these are the different group of organization which is available in the society. Moving forward, literacy. See here, we are going to learn how exactly this literacy is going to impact on the society. Done. Literacy refers to the ability to read, write and understand information, effective communication in daily life. Okay, so this kind of thing that we call it as a literacy. Means in simple words, if I want to say, literacy is a capacity or the capability to read and write and understand, to communicate. Okay, so that we call it as a literacy. Done. So impact of literacy, how exactly this literacy is going to affect social awareness. Literacy is a kind of social awareness. Okay, so we get to know exactly what happening in the society. Okay, so people are aware of the current trends, current situations, conditions. Okay, what is happening in a society. Improved communication. If we are literate, we can improve our communication skills. Okay, so if we are capable of reading, if we are capable of writing, if we are capable of telling something, okay, so we get to know many things in the society. Economic growth. Okay, if we are literate, there is a job opportunity that is available in a society. If we are not illiterate, there is no job opportunity that is available. Here in the competitive generation, what happens? So there is no proper job opportunity that is available in the developing country like India. So day to day, the job opportunity keep coming down. Okay, see what happens. So we must be always what? Literates. Health improvements. Okay, see what happens in the pandemic situation, that is during COVID-19. Okay, so the literates take the precautions regarding maintaining the distance. Okay, so or any kind of the symptoms regarding the COVID. Okay, so all the guidance that is been given by the government. Okay, so it may be taking the vaccination. Okay, so these are all the cautions that is been taken by the literates when compared to the illiterates, because illiterates people, what they do is, they believe the people one who are going to tell something. If it is positive or negative, they won't bother about these all things, but they believe the people, other people, because they're not capable of reading and writing. So that is a thing. It also affect on the health improvement. Empowerment, the ability to earn our own bread. Okay, so this literacy also lead for the empowerment. If we are going to conduct any kind of the business, okay, literacy is required to count the money, to enter the money. So no, so these are all the things that we need to learn about the literacy. And about education. Okay, so these both are interlinked with each other. Okay, so education is different, literacy is different. Okay, this education is a formal way of learning something. Okay, literacy is just a ability or the capacity to read and write. Okay, so educated is completely different from literate. Okay, so education is a process of acquiring knowledge, skills, values and attitude. That is the reason why you people come for a college. Okay, so helps individual grow personally and contribute to the society. So it is going to help the people grow personally, okay, and also to contribute to the society. So if we people educate, okay, so what happens? There are lots of difference between the behavior of educated in a society, the behavior of uneducated in a society. Okay, the standard of living get differs. Okay, so the way how they speak get differs, the attitude of the people educated is different. Okay, so it totally differs. Okay, so impact of education, how exactly this education get impacted. Human capital development. See what happens if we people are educated. Okay, so if we people are educated with the qualification, degree, master degree, whatever it is. Okay, so if we people are educated, we are capable of earning our own bread. Innovation and progress. So we keep on innovating the things, research and development, science and technology. Okay, so all the things is being developed till the artificial intelligence. Okay, so innovation and the progress, it keep on developing from day to day, and it keep on growing. Reduction of poverty. See what happens when it comes in terms of poverty. If we are educated, we can earn our own bread, our lifestyle get changed, our purchasing power get changed. Okay, the lifestyle get changed, there will be increase in the purchasing ability or the capacity, PPP, yes or no? So these things are going to happen, that we call it as a reduction in poverty. The poverty will come down, okay, if we earn our own. Social change, societal change is going to happen. If we consider the GDP, if we consider the GNP, these factors consider the most. Nation building, okay, so whatever the people educated, okay, so the educated people are going to build the nation. They are going to step forward for the development of our country. It may be a development of a society, development of economic condition of the country. It may be a development, a personal development of the people. Okay, so it become the reason for the development of our nation, that we call it as a nation building. In the next session, we are going with the impact of urbanization, how exactly the urbanization concept is going to impact on the business, role of women in business and employment. So how exactly this woman is going to impact on the business, social responsibility of business. Okay, it is all about the CSR activity which will be conducted by the business. It is a portion of profit that has been shared with the society for the welfare of the society. Impact of social and cultural environment on business. Okay, so exactly the social and cultural environment is going to impact on the business organization. Thank you.